What's up, guys? Dylan back here with another altcoin update, and I want to go over pretty much what we left off yesterday. Yesterday was very choppy in terms of the market. Nothing really happened. I think a lot of people were trying to, trade the market yesterday, but at the end of the day, there was not much to trade. There's a lot of fake outs and like on the lower time frames to the downside and to the upside. So I want to speak about what we can expect for today within the altcoin market, and I also want to go over a little bit of like a bit of politics, but it's just this has been going on, literally for the last week with Iran. This I actually found this Twitter account. You can just see like how they've been like tuning Trump like on their main account. Well, this is not their main account, but there's like this over here.
Your reckoning has come.
What is this?
Like, I mean, this is pretty much like the meme war that's been
Your
happening
reckoning has
within the last couple of days. So it's a bit intense with what's happening in the market. So you just have to trade with caution. Lower your risk if possible. Just due to the fact that it's just been still very choppy, right? And it's due to mainly what's been happening around in the world with the geopolitical situation. Okay, so this was the fit idea that I'm looking at for today. I'm expecting a rejection from the zone. I'll be honest with you. The 50-minute time frame, it's still holding this level here, but this was the idea. If you look at the 5-minute as well, I want to see. I mean, this is something that we can look at. We did break this internal low. We made like a double top on the 5 minutes and the 3-minute time frame. This could just be a retracement back for a potential pullback to the downside for Fed. So I will let you know what I do here for FET. Definitely something to look at here for Fed, because if you look at the 4-hour time frame and the daily, this is just a retracement into this key zone over here, and we lost structure, which was this this range for that was there for literally for the whole month, right? So as you can see, from the 23rd of March, right? So this is a key level over here, but we haven't even taken out these lows just yet. So there's this level that I'm actually looking at for the sells, right? So we're looking for sells back down to around about this level, 5% move to the downside if we hold the structure today, right? Because if you look at the 1 hour as well, the 1 hour time frame is where I actually got the idea from. Rejecting this level here is a key zone for sells, right? Because you can even see how we broke this internal structure over here on the 1 hour time frame, right? So let me just put it in over here for you. It will show a little bit better on the 15, right? So this for me is just a retrace into a key level for potential sells a bit lower, right? So I will let you know what I do here. I want to see how this retracement ends up. If we start to hold this level here and we get a rejection, this is the level that I'm looking at to short. Okay, then looking at ETH, yesterday was pretty chopped. So what I want to do is I just want to quickly look at the previous day high and the previous day low, just to see where our zones are for the day. So we've got this zone over here, and then we've got this zone right over here, right? So looking at the 4-hour as well, 4-hour time frame, you can see how we've really, this was actually yesterday's low, this level over here. This you can see how we tapped it, and literally got a reversal straight from that zone. So the one thing to note is that if you look at the 1 hour time frame, you can see how we couldn't just break above the zone. So for me, it's still in a bearish market right now, right? In terms of, even though we're making these higher highs and higher lows, we also did break trend over here, and we are respecting this level quite thoroughly on the 1 hour time frame, right? And you can just see this level over here. This is the reason why I'm still a little bit bearish on today, is because we haven't taken out this high, or we haven't closed above that high. There's a good chance that we take out the high from yesterday, and then we reverse from that level as well. But closing above this level here is very critical for the market to continue going higher on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at for Ethereum right now. If we do get to the zone over here, then potential sells off this level back down to the previous day low. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. If we look at the 15-minute time frame, same thing with the 15. Like, you can see like it's still holding this trend over here. We do have a rejection zone literally sitting at this level, right? It's a strong zone. Like if I draw it in, it will make a little bit more sense for you. But right over here, very, very strong zone. Okay. So there's potential to get rejection here off this trend line and off this previous resistance, right? We have multiple supports, 19th of April over here. Then on the 20th of April, resistance flipped back into resistance, into resistance, right? So there's a good chance this can roll over, right, at this current level. So definitely looking at something here for Ethereum, but there is still a good chance that we can take out the previous day high, right? Structurally right now it doesn't look like we're going to, but there's always a chance. So for me right now, I'm just going to be patient and wait to see how we react at this level, and then we look for some sells. Rather get a worse off entry than take potential setups, right? So it has to be valid in my opinion in order to take the trade. There's a good chance that we do come down lower from this zone. All right. So for me right now, what am I looking at? So for FIT, I want to see this retracement. Like we did speak about this, but if we get rejected like this on the 5, it could be a good chance to jump into a short here. The weekly is just not good. The daily is not good. It's just looking like it wants to go lower, right? This retrace over here is a weekly retrace into, nothing much that we can really give. And we haven't even taken out this low over here. So there's a good chance that we do, which is why I'm looking at sells. All right. Then for Bitcoin, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin kind of closed nicely yesterday. Bitcoin has potential more than ETH to actually take out the previous day high, and then maybe flip bearish on the low, right? But let's have a look and see on the 4-hour time frame here. So if we look at the 4-hour time frame, you can see that, so that's our previous day high, right? Around about 76, 558. If you look at the 1 hour, 4 hours not really giving us much. 1 hour time frame, you can see our price is kind of looking decent here, whereas ETH kind of broke down. Bitcoin's pretty much holding this level here, right? So for me, I would love to see like a double top over here. And then if we break this level, then I'm looking for sells back down. Beautiful, right? Very clean. So Bitcoin's pretty simple for me today, right? Wait for like a double top and then, potentially get SFP off this level and then look for a sell off that trend line, right? Definitely something to watch out for here. What I do want to have a look at quickly is the heat map here on Bitcoin to see what we got going here. We have liquidity a little bit higher, 76,987. We also have lower 75,472. So I just want to plot that on the chart just so we know what's kind of happening here. So let's have a look here. 75, what is it again? 75,472. we can move that, but it's around about there. Whoopsies. Right, and then for the upside, we have, there's quite a lot to the upside, to be honest, 76 more. So 76,987, 76,987. Yeah, so, just looking strictly based on like TA, there's a good chance that we take out this level here for Bitcoin, right? Before we reverse from this level, right? The market loves to grab liquidity. So definitely something to watch out here. Even just hitting this zone over here and then coming lower and taking out this liquidity here. It's definitely possible, right? So it's kind of what I'm looking at here for Bitcoin. But for me personally, like I just wait for break of trend. That would give me confirmation, but I would love to see a sweep first, right? If we can see a sweep of that level, that would be amazing. Okay. So it's a bit of a Bitcoin and ETH analysis, then a potential setup as well that I'm looking at for today. Total threes still below resistance. Like, we've spoken about this multiple times. Like the daily candle did close back above this level here, but it's still trading below this level, this resistance zone over here. We've really taken out the high of yesterday, which is something to note, right? For the altcoins, not a good sign, right? Taking out yesterday high pre, like New York, pre-London, it's not a good sign, showing us that the market can still reverse, right? So Yeah, I think just looking at structure, you know, even on the total 3 broke this low over here, this could just be a retrace into more downside, right? So I'm looking at more sell sets today, guys. I hope you guys understand, and we'll see what happens here. You know, confirmation would be breaking below this previous low, 729. But yeah, I want to go over some other alts. So I'll let you guys keep you guys updated. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for watching. Hope you guys understand what we're looking at today, and I'll see you guys for the lives.